Big speaker. Here we are. It's Sam and Michael. It's local support client meeting prep, soon to become local support client meeting. I will probably just, so I don't forget to do it, I will probably just send to Rachel her email address here. I don't. I've actually started moving over to a different computer. Find her in. That seems to be an extremely large number of Rachels. Right, Rachel, right, there we go. Okay. Compose message to Rachel. This is link. How are you doing, Michael? You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. Cool.
Seems like you and John have been making good progress on various bits and pieces.
Yeah, we've been doing, well, there's still some issues with the map, but
Yes.
little minor
Yeah.
issues, but
Yeah, let's have a little look at what's going on. I guess what I should sensibly just do is make make the looks, but make the check out what we've got in the terms of the pages. Client meetings. We so need. I was just doing before. I was just editing the Atlantic and Eurasia Scrum, so that it mentions that I'm not available as Scrum Master.
I've been
Go on.
reading the book Ruby Under a Microscope.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've heard of that book. That sounds like an interesting book. How is that book?
It's interesting. I mean, it's pretty light reading though,
Mm-hmm.
especially after you've already done the NAND Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
It covers a lot of the same ground, but Ruby specific, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I know somebody who really loved that actually. Yes. Um,
Loved what in particular?
oh well, there was one of my students at Makers uh, who was saying he couldn't he wanted to know more about how Ruby works and so on. I sent him a load of resources yesterday, but I didn't know this one. So
I mean, it doesn't like really cover like the C source code
no, but
like
like
in detail, but it tells you like it points you to certain key files and says if you're really interested, you can look
you can
here,
look
but
at the
here's like an
files.
overview.
Yeah, no, I think that this the thing that this guy was asking me about. He was saying like, how does the parsing look? Why does it why does it need these parentheses in these cases and not these other cases? And that I think this that's well as usual. You have excellent materials that I then can pass on to other people. But yes, so you've actually got a copy of this and you've been working through it, have you?
Yeah, I've been reading it on Kindle.
Cool.
I mean, it's just interesting light reading. It's not like
No,
for
no.
me, it's light reading, I would say, but I don't know. It's just interesting to see. Also, supposedly the Ruby VM is stack based, just like NAND to
Right.
Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's kind of almost like the default VM implementation these days.
Yeah, yeah. I think also I think there's an extent to which when you learn things the first time around you're just sort of like accepting the things as kind of that's the way it goes and then
Hmm.
but there's a certain extent to which okay, all right, I'll accept that that's the way it is, and then it's then later on interesting to find out more details. And I think it solidifies like if you've got kind of a coherent model in your head for why it's working the way it's working, then that means that sometimes when you're a little bit out of your depth and you're having to jump to conclusions, you're more likely to jump to the right conclusion than the wrong conclusion. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, I might have to grab that copy of that.
I mean, it's just an interesting light reading, but I can't point to anything in particular that's like oh, that's totally gonna change
No,
everything.
no, no,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that this is like critical reading for somebody who wants, but I think as one's, I think it's good background stuff to be having, particularly if you haven't done a computer science.
Yeah, it's written for people that are Ruby developers that want to know more but don't necessarily have like the education background, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You did a computer science degree, right? Or you're still doing
Yeah,
one? Did
yeah.
you finish your degree now?
Yes, but I'm continuing.
You're doing postgraduate study, are you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you doing? Are you like a master's?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you chosen like a topic for the masters, or you're sort of
Just
exploring ideas?
I haven't chosen yet.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, that's I didn't realize. Oh, that's great. That's I mean, I think no. Are you doing a research masters or a sort of a non-research masters? If that makes any sense.
Non-research.
Okay. Yeah. So you're not required to come up with like a very big thesis. You can just do a series of courses and kind of will you be required to do a thesis or something at the end?
I think you can do one, yeah.
Okay. Optionally so. Right. Fair enough.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So just I'm looking back through just refreshing my memory on the other bits and pieces here. Dun, 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 dun. I don't think any of them are going to. Oh, that's interesting. Is that sounds like okay? I guess I could even possibly go up to Rachel's office, but hell, it's not even. This is like my wife's coming back, which means she could, supervise the kids. But anyway, but anyway, yeah, I think all the things are as usual there. Yeah, what we should probably do is we should be looking at the pull requests and things that are on which servers and so on. So yeah, is there stuff that needs my attention? Did you want to talk me through where we are?
Uh, yeah, RFC home button.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you can show to the client.
Okay. Yes, I looked at that last night. You mentioned that on Slack.
That
Um,
also has the bug fix
uh-huh.
for that's on develop. Well, on develop, there's the uh,
Hmm.
quick patch that we put out for the volunteer ops
Right. That was.
on our develop.
Uh-huh.
And that the issue there was that certain volunteer ops or certain organizations,
Mm-hmm.
because the volunteer op is pinpointed to the location of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to volunteers and you click, like, see, yeah, you have two volunteer opportunities there.
Yeah.
If you go to the one on production,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see that it's because the height of that window is
Yeah.
larger than normal,
Mm-hmm.
it obscures the icon because uh,
Right.
we have to offset it. If we want to be above, it's more complicated.
Yeah. No, I
The
followed that.
bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean it.
See, and that's
Yes. I mean.
also so
Go on.
that's the bug fix for that issue
Yes.
just by moving it down to the bottom.
Yeah.
But I also found if you look on the organizations page,
Okay. On the live server. Uh,
yeah, certain organizations that have long titles
uh,
like Redeemed Christian Church of God, House of Joy, and all that. Like if you click to find that one,
yeah.
you'll see that because it has a long name, it's
Mhm.
multiple lines, so it runs into the same kind of problem.
Oh, okay. It sort of ends up appearing.
I think if you click on Redeemed Christian Church of
Oh,
God, like
just
if you just click on it,
yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
will somewhat obscure, and if it's a small icon, it can be even worse because it totally
Yeah.
obscures
Yeah.
it.
No, that totally makes sense. Let me forgive me for a second while I just go and check in with the rest of the family. I'll be back momentarily.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, Alex is here. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
As Alex was being very faint there. Are you very faint, Alex, or is you're not eating enough? You're feeling faint.
Is that better?
I've turned your volume up. I can gradually hear you now.
That's good.
Still quite quiet though. Do you know how to boost your microphone volume on your computer?
Absolutely no clue.
No. Well, you're on a Windows computer, aren't you?
One sec. Microphone.
So I mean, there is usually through the volume settings. There's a microphone gain on Windows computers. Anyway, just while you're doing that, so but Michael, yeah, so we were just reviewing those issues and so on. Remind me what? Well, I guess we'll just talk about it with the client. Really, was there anything that I needed to immediately put in? I guess we'll leave that until no. You were just looking at those different issues, and then but so this small icons one, or at least it says small icons, but this is specifically about the home button, or it does something else related to the.
It's the home button.
It's the we don't like, but anyway.
And as I said, on develop is the fix for the VolOps map issue. But in the future, John and I were discussing we might totally rip out the one library.
Yeah, use a different library.
And use this other library called InfoBubble that seems to do exactly what we want.
Yeah. Good.
So we don't have to manage
the
minutiae detail of how far up the pop-up should be and all that.
I mean, this looks nice, not unreasonable with it underneath. It sort of both of the things end up pointing to a very precise location. Yeah. Anyway, Alex, I presume that you're there with Rachel.
Yeah.
Yes, she's even fainter. Yes, hello, Rachel. Good to, almost hear you.
I'm afraid I don't know how to do it at all.
No, well, have you found the volume settings?
I've got a volume.
So you can turn your volume up and down. Yes, we've lost your audio there. I have a feeling that we.
Is that better?
Well, I can hear you again now. I guess I can turn you up a bit. Anyway, yes. Let's see. It'll probably be all right. Say something nice to me.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Yes. I mean, the microphone control. It's ironic actually because my wife has just come back, and I could possibly run up the road and fix the volume control and then come back here, but that would seem deeply ironic. I think since we're on the session is also.
Wait, I might have found it.
Boost. Hello?
Yes. You've.
Has that worked?
Yes. You're much louder now. Excellent.
All right, great. That's something new as well. Fantastic.
Excellent. Well, it's they say that happens every day. So sorry. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, we're already recording. Michael and I were just doing sort of a prep thing to begin with. Yes. So, and presumably you can see my screen reasonably well.
Yes, perfectly.
Good show. Yes. So sorry for putting you off from last week. We moved office last week. Thank you for telling me. It was a bit chaotic, and I think we survived. You know, as
You
well.
moved houses?
No, well, we moved offices.
Ah.
So, you know, I mean, which is. I think at least when you move office, there's other people helping you in a way that you don't.
Yes.
So yes, that was. But it meant that we were very busy last week. But I think successfully completed. But so yeah, the first thing to talk about here is so Rachel, were you able to reassociate that? Did you ever get that email from the to allow you to reassociate Rachel Wright at vfmh.org.uk with the organisation?
I didn't receive any, no.
Because I thought that you had managed to. Well, you were trying to reset the password.
Yeah.
And then you had managed to log in, and then did you press the "This is my organisation" button?
I don't know if I did that. I can try it now.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, you even have Alex try it on his computer, because if you try it on your computer, then we can't screen share.
Okay.
Unless you,
What do I do?
but yes, so that's kind of still up.
So what are they trying to do?
We basically there was some point several weeks back where we needed a user who was associated with an organisation in order to check something else out. And Rachel was like, "Oh yes, I've got this one for I think this is Volunteers for Mental Health," and she tried to log in with it and couldn't, and then couldn't seem to find it in the database. And eventually, I found the user, which appeared to have been deleted, and I wasn't sure why that had happened. But anyway, so the user does exist. But so then we were trying to reassociate the user with the organization. But I think we started with a password reset, and it wasn't clear if the email had come through for that, or maybe it did by the time we finished the previous meetings. Is now 10 days ago. And then anyway, so I mean, I guess we're sort of doing a eating our own dog food thing of just trying to go through the process that some of our users would go through. We still don't understand quite why that user would have got deleted, although it is possible that that's something. What slightly irritates me about the new the admin interface allows you to kind of, rather than just rejecting users' requests to be associated with organizations, you can also delete them. So I think that's it's sort of a dangerous button to have around. You know what I mean? Look at. I mean, I don't know that would be.
But we have.
It's logged me in, okay.
Yeah. Oh, you're logged in with it.
Yeah.
We have the paranoia gem too, so.
Oh yes, no, absolutely. To avoid no. I mean, permanent damage. But at the moment, the recovering from a situation where
It's hard, yeah.
is up to us on the administration side. Rachel and Alex can't do it. So yeah, it's not ideal. See here, this deleting button just feels a little bit too clickable, if you ask me. I don't want to click it now. But so yeah, if you so you're logged in with that user, then Rachel. So if you go to the VMFH, is it VFMH page?
What if?
Do you?
I'm on there now.
Yeah. Is it giving you edit access to it?
Yes. Yep, I've got edit access.
Okay. All right. Well.
So it's obviously linked me up with them again.
Yes. Yes, it obviously has. I mean, it feels like a ghost in the machine there, because maybe you or someone else have approved yourself, or somebody approved you as the anyway. Oh, maybe because you've got emails associated with the. I will go and look at. I guess it's not. I shall puzzle over it in my own free time, if that's all right with everyone. I was going to go and find it myself. EFMH. So.
Well, if it was already associated previously.
It was already on the admin. I've just gone into the edit page, and this email was already linked with the administrator email. That had already been done previously, I think.
Okay. So maybe it was still linked, and the problem just that it got deleted for some reason. Anyway, that we can at least partially put that mystery to bed. Yeah, go on, Michael.
Would it be better, essentially, if the delete button popped up a scary message that said, "Do you really want to do this?"
Well, I think Raskin would say that that breaks all sorts of HCI things. Is that the problem with scary messages is that people, sort of end up not being scared of them eventually. Maybe if it was a scary enough monster. But I would have thought that at least in the school
Or just
user interaction would be that there would be undo. I think that on this page, on this user report tool, it's not necessary for it. There was a situation where Rachel had invited a user, and it turned out to be that it was their old email that wasn't working, and there was a situation where we didn't reach that user. But so I think rather than approve or delete, it should be approve or reject here. I don't see a strong need to immediately put delete into this interface here. At least one should anyway. If we've got delete, we should have undo in the interface. But in the first instance, I'm not sure that we even need delete. But anyway, maybe Rachel and Alex can tell us what they want rather than me hypothesizing. But
I agree that the delete is quite easy to press and final, isn't it? So I go with either an undo or something.
Just something which puts another step in the process to stop you doing things, I guess. So whether that might be, are you sure you want to do this? Scary cookie monster, or generally just.
Well, I think
undo.
What we lean towards is undo as kind of sort of the problem with the scary monster thing is it sort of then stops you, gets in the way of when you maybe do need to do it and being able to.
Well, we could go with the Windows school of thought and make it hard to find it.
Yeah. I think again not ideal. Anyway. I guess I've already got a story in there for saying that we would like it to be reject and to add undos throughout the system. Hopefully we'll get there. But at least we've found the user. Just going on through other items on the agenda. So Alex, I don't know if you heard from Rachel. So there was some feedback from some users saying they didn't know what beta meant, and that's probably generally true. And of course we're arguably out of beta now in that because of stable.
I mean, do you want me to? Obviously I can take beta off. That's quite a simple one.
Yeah.
But do you want me to try and design something new, maybe?
Well, that's up to Rachel. I would say in the first instance, let's get the beta off, and
Okay.
and then if Rachel wants something new, you can also do that. But again, as I often say to John, I think it's good to not make these things. You want to
take up
and join these things together, because the thing is, if it's like designing something new, then the time it takes to get that in compared to removing the beta. So I'd say let's remove the beta quickly and get that done, and then once it's done. Yeah, absolutely. You can talk to Rachel about designing a new thing.
All right.
Conceivably, if John in the new year might want to start his full screen map thing, still on the table, I think somewhere. But yes, okay. So that's So you can get there on the logo. So I've got a note here that I think I've previously. Oh no, I'm looking at the previous meeting. Okay, here we go. Fix ad organization. That's apparently done. So I'll get rid of that. Ongoing. I haven't really been, since I've taken over as head of education at Megas Academy, I have not been working on smoothing flows into the system. I hope that's something going to restart in the new year. So I made the MailChimp list for you, which I know Rachel has seen. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that.
You seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's there for you to use in whenever you want.
What's the MailChimp integration?
I think MailChimp integration would be then beyond that is sort of so that we would keep that. So what I did was I did a dump of the emails so that Rachel and Alex can sort of send out other things into MailChimp, so they've just got what have you. So MailChimp integration would be when the users change, we would update the list. If people log in and update their email, we add a new person, then that would push on to edit the MailChimp. But so that's an interesting. That would be. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with MailChimp now than I was. I still haven't kind of. I sort of played around with that API. I haven't really set anything up. That's a it's kind of. It doesn't feel like immediately must have, unless of course Rachel and Alex tell me otherwise. But sort of nice to have thing, particularly if you found somebody who was interested in working on it. Other things from before, I have not made any progress on the AV Constitution. That's what I do over Christmas. So the getting the charity status, I've got Steve and Rachel have said yes. David has said that he prefers not to because he might conceivably get paid by Agile Ventures in the future. Makes me wonder if Alex, you're probably trustee on too many things already. Would you be interested in being a trustee for Agile Ventures?
When do you need to know by?
I don't know. I mean, I don't need that. I need to know by. Well, I mean, I guess, you know. I mean, I'm not. I suspect that I'm not in a position to be very swift in this. In that, I need to sidle around to sort of start. I'm probably. You certainly don't give me an answer now, and you don't need to give me an answer now. And maybe the sensible thing to do, which is sort of. I mean, I think both for Steve and Rachel, it's all. What's the word? Penitentiary. No, that's the wrong word. It's all provisional. Or pending, me actually having made an AV, the actual kind of constitution, and then, you would. So maybe what I can do is I can try and make the constitution and then send it to all of you, and you can see if it's the kind of thing that you'd like to be involved in or not.
Yeah, I'd go around that route. I do a lot of things. I don't know, but I'm hoping I'm going to lose one of them, so there might be more. There might be more room in my life.
Absolutely. No, I know you're a man of many fingers in pies, or many pies. Many pies? Fingers in pies, or something. Anyway, but
slices of the pie.
Yes, I'm hoping that the workload associated with it is going to be extremely small. I may be deluding myself.
That's what they always say to start. They always say to start.
But anyway, so we'll put some question marks in there. Then we've got Alex, anything from the councils of voluntary services, the CVS?
Nothing specific. So I've got a meeting with one of them next week, which is
it's the one that's next to my name.
Yeah. Sobus.
Right.
And I know it's on the agenda for our West London meeting in. Gosh, is it January or February? I think it's February. But I know it's on the agenda.
Right.
So.
Good show.
But apart from that. No, I haven't had anybody come back. Maybe once I take it off beta, maybe I'll just do another try. Like this is sort of New Year, and then Ra's going to have a new website tomorrow.
Ooh.
So maybe I'll feature it on that sort of straight away, and then after ask sort of CVS's just to take a look at the website. So the first thing they look at is HCN. Do that. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So excellent. Moving on to the search engine optimization. Michael, have we heard from Pravina recently?
I haven't. I should get more.
No, I haven't.
No, I mean, I think she started. She did a little bit on that, and I haven't heard from her recently. So I think that's sort of. I mean, there's sort of a small amount to do there. Would be quite valuable for us, but. Yeah.
I will. I know I keep saying it, but I've got some time for the next couple of weeks, so I'll definitely try and at least get the head code for it. And
I think what Pravina did, and I think it's conceivably is actually on production already. If we look at production over here, I think we've now got. Let's have a look. We've now got these meta tags in here with description and keywords and so on, which are new. Which are from Pravina.
Okay.
The keyword tags don't mean a lot, though. I mean.
Sorry, say that again, Michael.
I was saying I was under the impression that the keyword tags don't mean a whole lot.
I don't know that they do. No, I mean I think that the critical thing that we've got.
I think what we need is to have it so that it indexes like sections of the site or something instead of.
That's exactly what we need, and it's exactly what we don't have at the moment. And then
random organizations.
As I understand it, there's some sort of XML document that we either put on the website.
Yeah, we need a sitemap. We would need to. But what we could do is we could do it through Webmaster. So if we sign up to Webmaster, then they should be able to identify which parts are working and which aren't. And then we just create an XML from that.
Yeah, when you say Webmaster, you mean
the Google Webmaster tool.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, indeed.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, no, if you want to, that would be fantastic, and I'm very happy to give you all the help that I can.
I would also say, I was going to say, obviously, someone knows how to do this in Agile Ventures because website 1 has it indexed. So.
Yeah, I don't think it's terribly complicated. It's just something I haven't always had to research for Agile. Yeah, like exactly like this.
So yeah, it's all indexed.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not so keen on losing my address there, but anyway, oh well. Okay. So,
they've identified who you are.
Well, yes. As it has, I'm not very low profile. Everybody knows who I am. So cool. Oh well, I'll pop Alex's name in there as well.
Yeah, and what I'll probably do is I'll see what I can do without Agile Ventures. I mean, probably get back to you and see how you can help me with it.
Sure.
If there's like a designer that could sort of.
Yeah. No. If we need something,
passwords or whatever it is,
like we can easily get that done.
Yeah. All right.
So moving on. Yes. I mean, this is the interesting thing about MailChimp. Is that the I mean, I think the particular thing about why we might is to avoid our emails getting into spam folders. However, Gmail has this process where it's automatically putting MailChimp sent emails into a promotions folder, visible to people. So that kind of, although I think that's maybe better than being dumped into the spam folder. We're using MailChimp for mailings related to Makers Academy, and it's been a bit of a pain. So it kind of demotivates me in terms of detailed MailChimp integration. But anyway, yeah.
I think MailChimp works for some. It works for some people. Like everything, it works for some and some it doesn't work for others. But we started using MailChimp and then we went back to email. So now we just use it both now, actually.
Yeah, so, they have different. Yeah, I think depending upon the email provider that you're using, it has different. Things. Yes. We've got this outstanding thing of how to really effectively integrate with the third sector potential volunteer centre. Well, I guess I'm still not sure how that might or might not take place. Steve often comes to me with other ideas of different kinds of things and different projects and so on. Pretty much every week, really. Actually, he's always got the idea. We were talking about, though, Alex, maybe popping down to see them, just if there was a way to export data from there. I forgot what it's called now. What's that?
V-Base.
V-Base, do it.
Right, that's it. Yes. Yeah.
I've emailed Steve and I haven't got a response.
Oh, okay.
And actually, Ramesh, who is a person we met with, isn't around at the moment. I think he's leave. So it might just be something that's worth waiting until Ramesh comes back.
Yes. Also, I think Steve has. I often have to help him fix his email so that he can get it. He often loses it on his phone. So I wouldn't take that as a strong indication of anything one way or the other. I thought there was a third person, not called Ramesh or Steve.
Veena.
No, there is Veena, but there's another person, another male person who also has sort of a Asian-sounding name.
Yeah, he doesn't work directly. I think they call him in to do stuff around their IT. So I've not met him. I know who you mean. It's Varsha's son. Dodia is the surname.
Oh, Mahir.
Mahir,
yes. Now, he seems like the person who knew most what was going on.
I think he's their IT person.
Yeah, I think the thing to do probably is obviously leave it till after Christmas and possibly when Ramesh comes back. The thread to follow on. I'm just looking here on a different computer. I'm in the process of moving from one computer to another, which means my brain is split between these two different things.
Yeah.
This person's name is here.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for Ramesh. Anyway, it's all a bit what's the word? Tangential? No, or tentative, or some other word that means it feels like there's sort of a lot of organisation for not necessarily a very clear result.
I think also the timing's quite bad because Do It is still in this they're going from one system to another.
Yes.
I don't think it's worth spending too much time on the current system because it's not going to be there for very long.
No.
So it's a bit frustrating, but I think it might be worth just hanging off and seeing when the new system is up and running.
Yeah, we'll check back in the new year. No, I mean, although it could even be, I mean, but partly it was myself just being particularly interested, like interested in what even like historically the data of like how many organisations in the Harrow area are asking for how many volunteers and so on. But anyway, yes. I think we'll leave it and see how it goes. Okay. So then we've got. Oh right. So the other thing we've been sort of doing. So you can see. I think do we have this on? What's the production site on? Here's the production sites. So I think since you've been away, Alex, we've now got this sort of, we can call it the measle map, perhaps. Have you had a chance to look at this? I mean,
yeah. I don't have. Can I send files in this thing?
Can you send a file? Well, if you put a file in Dropbox, you can put me the. I don't think that Hangouts has a explicit mechanism to send a file. Have you got some? What have you got?
I've got. Can you see my screen? Don't know.
I can't at the moment.
No.
But if you start the screen share.
How do I do that?
Well, there's a green button on the left-hand side. If you mouse over
like a
the
monitor.
Oh.
And then when you click the green thing, it will then say something like, "Which screen do you want to share?" It looks like it's starting up. It's got little. Here we go. Yes. I can see your screen. Yes.
So it's done.
I can see
and it goes smaller.
Uh-huh.
It should be direct when it's small enough. I did it 20 by 20.
Oh, okay.
But I've got the Illustrator file for it, and it's got a slight emboss to it as well.
Okay.
So it should show up.
Yes.
More finer.
Excellent.
Obviously, with some of these things, you can't really tell until it's deployed, but
sure.
I can definitely share it with you now.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, send them to me via email, and I'll get them into the system, and we can do it.
Okay.
I mean, I mean, for both Alex and Rachel, looking at the deployed system now with the mix of larger and smaller icons, how are we feeling about it?
I think it's better because it does make those ones stand out more. And I'd hope it would encourage people to use it, or at least people looking at it to maybe it would move them towards the ones that have.
Yes, that have got more up-to-date information.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it as well.
Good show. Yes, I mean, I think I was worried before about the. I think there is room for improvement on the dots. So that thing that you're sending, Alex. I think it will be excellent to try with that. I think it certainly doesn't look too bad at the moment.
No.
I think that the it's but so we've got it so that basically you have the organizations that are associated with users that are the ones that are bigger. And that they've also been updated in the last year or something. Okay. So
I know you had been saying in the chat that you thought it was a bug, that something wasn't updated, but I think it's just that it didn't have a user.
Yes, I had sort of thought that the updating the sizes was just going to be purely a function of how recently the organization had been edited. And not necessarily related to whether there was a user associated with it, but I think if we did, what was your understanding, Rachel?
I think my original idea was it was being updated. Although in theory, once we get going, it should only be the organisations updating them.
Yes, I mean the question: do we want it that if we as admins, if we update individual things, should they suddenly become large as a result of us having updated them recently, or should it only be the actual users themselves?
I'm thinking more that the organisations update it.
Yeah. Well, then that sounds like you're happy with the current arrangement. Yeah. If you're happy, then I'm.
Because it might be that we notice a spelling, or we might work our way through with the capitals, or.
Yes. Well, I was noticing that one immediately here. I'm fairly sure that these guys are not lowercase RCCG? With that?
No, that would be a capital, yeah.
Indeed.
But they actually updated theirs themselves, so.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, because I didn't do that. So.
Oh. Yes, I mean, I think we've got various capitalization issues throughout the site.
Yeah, because I think it was all capitals before, wasn't it? So you went through and.
Well, I think we downcased everything, but we maintained like the first letters. But then I think in places where it was, an acronym.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think yes, and then so we've got this home.
If you wanted to, before you introduce that, you could show the bug and our solution for it with the volunteer ops.
Okay. Yes.
If you want to do that.
So, I guess what I'm tempted to do is just finish. Let me finish on these things that are in here, and then we can put that into the agenda. So we had site downtime, and then we've got bug fixes. So we'll make sure to look at those. But let's. So there had been, or at least we talked about as well. I think you also said that they weren't sure what Peter meant, and so on, was that they weren't sure how to get back to the original list of orgs. And so we've got, I guess, with this, who was working on this, Michael, on this home button?
Marion and I.
Okay, right, yes. And so, I don't know if Alex and Rachel, you can see, but with an example of having the home button here on the tag there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Just one feedback I got was that somebody couldn't work out. So that looks fine. It's the most logical way.
So we had thought in particular that it looked kind of funky with them both being like depressed. Like if you look at it, it looks like it's pushed in like a button. But when you go to the home page, they're kind of both pushed in.
Sam, can you go out to it?
Can I go?
I can't see.
I'm not.
Oh, I see. Actually, I like that because it seems like a tab a little bit. So when you press the organisation one, will it tab up?
Well, at the moment, if you do to organise it, there it goes to organisations. And then
I see.
Like this, and then.
Okay.
It's because the home and it is the same as the organisation.
Yeah. I see. Well.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, go on, Alex.
I mean, if it's an easy fix, but if it isn't, I don't think it's like I don't know. Is it your priority? I don't know.
No, I think either way it looks fine.
So the question that we had was, should the home button just be not active, or not, always look like it's not pushed in?
No, I think it's clearer when it's pushed in. It shows that you're on the home page.
Okay.
Otherwise, you might not think you're on it.
Although I think that it's just a certain ambiguity that one might think that the home page is different from the organisation's page, and they're actually the same.
Should we? It would be a relatively easy fix to have the home page depressed when you're on the when you hit the organ. So hit the organization, Sam.
Yeah.
And see it says /organizations.
Oh, yeah.
It would be easy to make it
depressed there as well.
Depressed there if you were going to it's called the index internally. But
I was just thinking that I don't know, at least to me, the issue it seems to me is that it feels a bit pressed up close against the other ones. I would have thought. Another possibility would be to leave it with its current functionality, but just have it so that it was kind of over here. Do you know what I mean?
Further over?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I prefer it there because it just seems like in line with everything else. I mean, that would be the established menu page bit.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about. I don't know if you can see my screen at the very top here. The way that we have, certain sorts of things here. Certain sort of things over here, and just if the home, what I would worry about is the thing that we're trying to address is people not noticing where the home button, not being able to find home.
I think it's clear how it is there because it says home.
Well, it does say home, but I worry that with the four of them together with this, that people might not notice it. But, yeah, but then I guess at the end of the day, Alex and Rachel, if you're happy with where it is at the moment with the current functionality, then let's put it out there and we'll see what people say.
Yeah, because the problem was the person was searching and then I presume going to a page with an organisation and then not knowing how to get back to the home. So now home is directly above the organisation name. So I think if you don't see that home button how it is now, I think it's unlikely.
I'm just thinking, what I'm thinking more is that if this home button was in line with like here, like that it would stand here, you can kind of go like if you happen to read this from right to left, you've kind of got a lot of is you maybe miss it. Whereas if home was here, kind of more on its own, then it would be less easy to miss. But I agree, it's a minor point. Let's you know, as I say, the bottom line, if you're happy with how it is, then we can push it out. Not a problem. I think Michael was more concerned about the you know, the status of whether it's being pressed in or not. But it sounds like you're not particularly bothered about that either way.
No, I don't. I think it's clear to me.
Yes.
So you can see it.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I think that the danger is that when we have something where, you know, we're all looking at it and we all know where it is, someone who's sort of coming to the site for the first time, that's not necessarily an indication of how visible it will be to them. And you know, like to me, if it was sort of over here, then that's more easily findable with the eye. But anyway, yeah, I think it's, you know, there's certainly lots of other things to work on. So if we're not worried about it, then let's leave it as it is.
Yeah. Okay.
But so yeah, Michael, were you thinking that you'd want to have it? So I mean, I guess yeah. What was your thought, Michael? Was just that maybe it should either be not depressed at all.
Yeah, we had discussed just not having it be depressed, but I guess if Rachel wants it that way, then.
But Alex, you said you quite like the fact that it gets depressed, and Rachel, how do you feel about it being depressed?
Yeah, I think I prefer it depressed.
Yeah, when you're on that particular home, yeah.
I mean, I think it might be a bit confusing having home and organisations depressed, but I can.
I mean, the only thing is it going to put somebody off pressing organisations if both of them are depressed? So when you went back to home.
Well, I don't think that matters.
But it doesn't really matter, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're both routing to the same page.
Yeah.
So
I mean, would the other alternative be to rather than having two buttons which effectively do the same thing,
just eliminate organizations, or
well, one that said home and then in brackets organizations. Do you know what I mean? If it said.
I always keep it how it is, I think.
Okay, all right, well, let's leave it how it is.
We've also got some ideas about doing the homepage a bit different in the future, haven't we?
Yeah, that could be part of a bigger redesign. Yeah, I was thinking about it being like this.
Yeah, I mean, you could have, when people are logged in, the home could link to their organization's show page or something.
It could do, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so that's covered that. So then, just going through, Alex and Rachel, do you have anything to add to the agenda that we should not forget to discuss before we?
Yeah, just something about volunteer access.
Right. But there was, unfortunately, some site downtime for a while.
Yeah, I got your email, and by the time I checked it, it was up and running. So.
Okay, there you go. So it sounds like you weren't inconvenienced by the site downtime.
No.
But anyway, there were some issues related to our service provider, and was this what happened there, Michael? Was there something about there was the Bauer thing, and then there was like where they had to migrate us off an old box onto a new box, didn't they, or something?
There was some kind of issue with the box that we were on. It had been identified as having high input and output. So basically, when you're in the cloud, like our site is, you're on physical machines that other people's sites are on. So potentially, I'm not sure they didn't specify exactly what was going on, but it might have been that the box that we were on happened to be shared by someone whose site had a lot of visits, so it kind of destabilized our site as well. but we ended up being on another box now, and it seems much more stable. So
there we go. So
Okay, it didn't mean much to me, but
no, but there you go. Just the important is to recognise Michael doing a lot of work with the 9.4 people to make sure these things get fixed up. Thank you very much.
thank you.
So then there was various sort of little bugs that Michael and John identified on the main server. Should we? I think can we look at them here? So this is one that Michael was pointing out to me earlier. So if you've got a very long an organisation with a long name,
Yep.
then the pop-up sort of obscures the
Oh, I see the button.
yeah, and
we don't actually have a fix written for that one yet, but we have a fix for this other one.
This is the other one that if you have two volunteer things, then it sort of pops up and obscures that. So now that we've got this is the fix on the development server, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah, we just made it come out the bottom.
Like this. So we just wanted to check with you, Rachel, that this looks that's a reasonable fix for that one.
Yeah, that looks fine.
Yeah.
That's good.
Was there anything else that I needed to show Rachel on development, Michael?
I don't think so, no.
No. So those are all looking okay. A very long one here. What is it?
It's only a couple sites or a couple
Yeah. Yes.
things that are messed up. The ones with the very long names, basically.
Very long names, yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay. Yeah, is there anything else to show? So this small icons thing, this is just for there's the home button. There's nothing else to see there.
No, there's nothing else. I mean, it also has the fix for the volunteer ops, but
yeah, we've
already shown it.
On development. Okay. Yeah. So that's those bug fixes. I mean, I guess what we could do is go to the little tracker and just review some of those things. But while I'm going to that, do you want to tell us about your the other thing there, Rachel, about volunteer access?
Yeah, what it is, we've had a volunteer here, and he was asking for something to do. So one of the things I thought would be quite useful for him to do is we've still got a number of organisations that have no information. And I've got your list you sent me, so I sent that for him to look up and also to research, and gave him the admin password, which is fine because we know him. But he hasn't had much time. But I thought it's quite a good role we could give people who maybe that we haven't met, that could research into these organisations that don't have any information about.
Oh yeah.
But I thought, this guy we know, he's been coming here for a while, but for somebody that I don't know, I didn't want to give them the admin password for the whole site. So I just wondered if there was a way either, I know sort of long term there might be a way of there having things that have been edited by someone that I can approve, or even if there's a way that I could give somebody access to one, how you have your development sites, they could work on that for maybe a couple of weeks and I could just check it and then it goes live, just a way so if it's somebody we don't know, that they can go away and work on it.
Right.
But there's a bit of risk management so that,
right.
that something doesn't go up.
Yeah. I mean,
so I could just email somebody and say, look, can you research these 10 charities, find a bit of information about them, find their email address and put it on the site. Because even if they send it back to me, it's still quite time consuming, isn't it, when you're cutting and pasting. So it'd be really useful for somebody to be able to go away with this work, add it to the site, and then me to be able to just check it and press, yes, I approve it.
Absolutely.
I'm presuming most of the time it's going to be absolutely fine, but
yeah, just on the off chance that
if it's a live site, you don't really want someone editing it.
Right.
I don't know.
So you want like a queue of things that volunteers have proposed edits or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
That you then get to log on and
just double check them first, or even you know how on the admin page at the moment, if I gave someone the whole admin number as we've seen, it's very easy to go in and maybe delete things by mistake. I wouldn't necessarily want to give somebody I don't know
Indeed.
that access.
Sure.
And for them to go and delete all those users.
Yes. I think. There's a number of different ways that one could approach that. For example, creating other sorts of users that had, not as much full rights as the admin.
It's more than an organisation, isn't it? It's sort of something in between.
Yes, but I think that the ability to sort of propose an edit that you can then approve is a very powerful mechanism, and almost the one that I would be much more excited about trying to support. Although I'd be reasonably excited about trying to support other types of users, but it's sort of, I almost feel that, it is the extent to which we want to welcome proposed edits from the public. And,
I see, yeah.
We don't necessarily want to accept all of those edits, but we certainly want to welcome them to propose them, as that's a way of sort of engaging, not just as volunteers that you know, Rachel, but other people who say...
A bit like a wiki page where people can...
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Where people...
I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah, and it's sort of... it's interesting because we've got kind of at the moment... it reminds me particularly of the Google business stuff where anybody can submit a proposed change, and then others, and then it can be proved pending that we work out who you are, kind of thing. We've got at the moment we've got the this is my organisation sort of requesting it. It could be this is my organisation and here are the edits that I want to make, kind of. Anyway, but your immediate need is to have someone be able to sort of make proposed edits that you could then subsequently approve. And I guess what would be helpful for you as well, I imagine, is not just that it's the ability for anybody to propose the edit, but that you can give out a login that allows you to propose the edits, and then so that oh right, this is the stuff from John, rather than some random person has put into the site, kind of thing. Yes. Well, I think we can definitely turn that into a feature. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So feature for queue of proposed edits. Sure. Anything else on the agenda?
No.
No.
Yeah. So that leaves us with usual review. I'm remembering. Michael, so we've got some of these students at Bingham University, and they had been doing some bits and pieces of work on this. Which one is it? Is it the donation info field in org edit form?
Yep.
Yeah, and they've done some mock-ups, and I was just wondering, should we be showing them to Rachel and Alex?
You can if you want.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with what they'd done. What did you think about what they'd done?
I thought they were interesting, but they're like a very different aesthetic from the site as it exists.
Yeah, well, it was interesting. So there's a in SUNY, the State University of New York, Binghamton, is in upstate New York, and the instructor there, Rose Williams, has been working with me, teaching a similar sort of thing, although face-to-face class rather than online, for a year or two. And so she's been encouraging her students to get involved in adventures. But so I think that a couple of them have taken on one of these things. I think it is about here that if you now type in name of something without do you remember how this works, Michael?
I think you have to. That's just the name. You have to go forward.
Oh right, here we go. Oh right.
So there's validation on the URL.
Yeah, they're doing right. So if I just put in here, Harrow
client side,
.org.uk, and I do this, it kind of won't let me go forward until I. Oh, that's an email address. Okay, so
it's kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't clear whether they were trying to propose like a new workflow for creating an org.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically trying to force people when they go onto it to make or for their organisation, or
Well, I think they're looking there at a different way. I think what they've done is that they have taken this, a thing that we had created previously, which was this issue of there is like a problem with a user entering text into the URL rather than an HTTP thing, and sort of without particularly discussing it with us, they have this is their original mock-up there. They're sort of like without necessarily they just sort of like took this and ran off with it without discussing it with us, which is sort of what they're trying to do with all the students are getting involved. I don't know. It seems like they're afraid of consulting in that we might tell them. I don't know why they're afraid of consulting with us in the first place. But so they're sort of like going in their own direction with it. The idea is to sort of prevent people from typing non-URLs into the donation URL box. But I don't know.
But then we did also have the example that some organisations might not have an online or an email, and then might want to put, we run a stall at the market once a month. Please come down and support it.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I think here there's these people here. They've done like donate to tax driver of the year of the check. So people with donation info, they've kind of put. Yes, I guess they put here. This is an instruction to text to a certain.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then what we've done is rather than blocking people from adding from URLs, is we were automatically prefixing HTTP:// onto the front. Yeah. So I think it's great to have these students involved, but this is the thing, and this is actually the key thing that we're trying to communicate with the whole of Agile Ventures and the whole things is just how absolutely vital it is that you kind of understand, more about the problem rather than. So I think that their solution there, although it's great to see them working and exploring, doesn't necessarily meet the needs of the people in the site. So yes. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to show you their work. Partly students can watch this later on and understand the agile cycle and say, right, so we've taken and we've showed it to the client. And
I mean, what they've done might work in the email address box.
Yes.
Because there you do. Because sometimes people put 2 email addresses in, which wouldn't work, would it? Or I don't know if it does work.
I think I can remember systems in the past where it did, but it certainly would cause odd knock-on effects in our system. But yes, I mean it makes it seem like that the solution for this is having more a box like this where emails and URLs are auto-linked. Would be a more effective solution than just having this is our URL for the donation info should be more general. It would seem.
Yeah.
So which is a different sort of solution. But we have got that. I mean, they've also got this just giving text.
Yeah. Which is probably the same as what they've got below.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it's taken out all the spaces, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has in this one, yeah. So in this part of like turning it into, it's thinking it's hitting a URL.
It assumes that it is a URL.
Yeah. Indeed. Anyhow, yes. So I think, there's an interesting question here about, open-ended. We're trying to scaffold, people to encourage them to leave information about how to donate. And the question comes back to, I guess, what's the best way to do that? Or at least, going back to where the motivation for this field, Rachel, is that we sort of think this will be a convenient, being able to highlight how to donate to an organisation is something that's going to encourage people to use the site. Presumably that's the motivation.
Yeah.
And so there's a question of, do you think maybe that it would Rachel, it would be make more sense to sort of you have two large ones like this. So you have the general description, and then it says like describe your donation information as a sort of another, like you could have a 3-line box before the contact information part.
Yeah, I think it'd be better in a box.
Yeah.
I think also long term, as well as having the organisation address and the volunteering, almost like the donation thing could have its own icon. Because what I was thinking, when we looked at that My Square or Your Square Mile, when it on their homepage, it brought you can zoom into your postcode, and instead of seeing all the organisations, you would see a mixture of organisations, volunteer opportunities, and places you can donate to, but on a more localised scale.
Right, and so the donation, how would the donation info be? Other than if it was on when you say an icon, you mean?
Like here, so here it's bringing in 4 different things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here you'd zoom in closer, but instead of just seeing organisations or just seeing volunteering, you would see a mixture of what's available locally. So it could be organisations, it could be the donation. So some organisations wouldn't have that donation.
Right, so you could change the icon based on whether it was possible to make a donation.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, fair enough. Yes.
And so for that reason, you'd maybe want to... I agree, I think having a text box there would be better.
I mean, one thing that John keeps asking me recently is for any of these kind of things, he says, can Alex do a mock-up of them? Which, I mean, in this case, I'm sort of imagining a kind of just this box being split like 70-20, 80-20 or something, so that and highlighted there.
Yeah, I think the donation one would just be smaller, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would just be and sort of highlighted in some way and sort of moved out of here. Yes. Yeah. I mean, just going back to these. So we've got. So I mean, the map markers being small and appearing of dots. That's now up on production, and you guys are happy with that. I can click accept.
Yeah.
Completed. I guess there was this issue here with that. That was that email where the wrong person was invited. I guess we kind of know that the deleting. I sort of held this off because I was like, oh well, maybe there'll be a chance to test it when you get into the same situation again. But I'm imagining that it seems like that might be some time before that happens, Rachel. So I'm kind of what we do is maybe just accept this here, and then we'll, if it turns out to be a problem again, we'll create a bug report at that time. If that's all right with you.
Yep.
Yeah. So then, so we've got the homepage, organization's homepage link. So it sounds like the stuff that Michael and Marion have started on will get that pushed out. Should I click finish on this, Michael, now, or I'll let you do it?
You can edit. You can.
And if I can finish, it's not going to give me ownership of it, is it?
What is it? It shouldn't. No.
It didn't. So, so the new organization creation, I think that was fixed, wasn't it?
Yep.
And Rachel, have you been able to create new organization? I think you checked that. The new organizational creation.
That was the bug, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Loading the
there was 2 issues, wasn't there? One was the bug, and then the other one was being able to.
I think one was this page wouldn't load because of something with the catalyst. I mean, separately there's making the I think this is only available to administrators. Yeah. The thing is like removing the Google form, which is currently in, I don't know, is in adult. We've got adult version here, tells us to go to this form, doesn't it? So that's a separate feature. That's a longer term thing. So if you're happy with that, Rachel, I'll go ahead and accept that the organization creation on working there. Are we on Rails 4.1 already, Michael?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we are. We're on Rails 4.1 in production.
Yeah, so let's just click that one while we're finished. So yeah, so we've got the students who are working on this. I will say I want to put a note into here to at this Alvera in meeting with clients. Just a text box that allows both URLs and other donation info might be preferable. Okay, and then that bug with the info box and certain volatile markers. Anyway, your I guess that's finished now, is it, Michael? This bug, it's ready to be deployed.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's ready to go.
Cool. So then, Rachel, just the final thing today is to go through. So we've got the top priority is exposing other categories to the search interface. And coming off that, we've got that thing we were just talking about, the removing the Google form, having the search input bar stay on the organization view pages, having a home button to take the users back to the main page. So yeah, that's, I guess, we've got two. We've got, oh, okay, wait a sec. So this one, the organization's homepage link, that's actually not, I have not clicked, that's maybe separate from, that's like the organization's homepage link versus the having a homepage to take the users back to the main page. This is the one, yeah, Michael, that you and Marion worked on here. I wonder,
Yeah.
or it's got Marcelo down as the owner. Is Marcelo?
I think he had done something. He was intending to do it, but
okay,
it's kind of already done.
Okay, well I'm going to put it there, and so you took the lead on that one, did you?
I guess so. I mean,
I'll put your name in there for the minute, and you can put it afterwards. But so we've got other things that let all new org admins know when they've been granted org admin rights. Volunteer location different from org location. Display categories in 3 columns. Admin able to decline. This is an organization request for org rather than just deleting the request we were talking about earlier. Is the sequence of things there?
Yeah, nothing that looks okay.
Priority order. I guess the new one that you mentioned is this.
Volunteer, yeah.
Yeah, is the ability. So this is like ability for non-admins to propose organization edits. Is basically what it is, right?
Yeah.
Organization edits. Yes. So as an admin, so that I can easily accept suggested edits. I would like others, and I guess in the first instance we've got other approved individuals, other approved individuals so that I can reduce my workload, everything tight. Those. So, and where should that fit into?
Yeah, somewhere in the backlog.
Yes, but so I was thinking in terms of priority. Would you say that that's more?
Yeah, I think it'd be quite high because if I can get somebody else working with me on it,
yes,
or a group of people, it would sort of that'd be quite useful this end.
Yeah. So shall I put that just below the exposing other categories?
Yeah.
Yeah, above the removing the organization form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. So. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's it. Unless there's any other business.
No, I don't think so.
No. Good show. The thing that I just created seems to have completely disappeared, but I guess that's our new pivotal tracker interface for us. I will look for it after the meeting. Yeah, well, good to catch up with you.
Yeah, you too.
Yes, I hope you've got some fun plans for the festive season.
Yes, I think so.
Almost upon us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good show, and yes, fingers crossed for a what's the word? Prosperous New Year.
Yes, thank you. You too.
Yes, good show. Michael, if you want to hang around, we could just like clear up afterwards. But yes,
Okay.
and yeah, I guess we might not be next week, guys.
No, I'm going to be away now, so I'm back the week the schools go back.
Yeah, okay. So we can.
So if we can link in, so it'll be 2 weeks.
Yeah, we can go back to It's going to be looking at January. Thursday should be the 8th. So
Yeah.
potentially noon on that Thursday. And then potentially weekly. I mean, with the office move settled down. But what we are having is on Wednesday the 14th at Makers Academy. We're kind of having like a jamboree for the students to choose their final projects, and also I'm inviting various charities in to try and pitch their projects to the students.
Okay.
So anyway, I'll tell you more about that on the 8th of January.
Okay, great.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks.
Right.
Michael, did you?
Bye. I'll hang up then.
Yeah. And all feel free to hang around and listen to Michael and I chat. But anyway, yeah, Michael, what happened to that thing that I just thought I created here?
I don't know.
No. I would just
doesn't it usually go into the icebox if it's not
it's got like
points yet?
Yeah. What did I just? I don't know. I've just if I search approve. Yeah, oh, there it is.
Wait, here it is. If you look in the Slack chat, it's everything's being streamed to it. So the last one says San Joseph added this feature ability for non-admins to propose organization edits.
Yeah, it seems to have dropped it into the current box rather
And
than.
that'll give you a.
Yeah, so I'll pop that in here. I also noticed I was partly confused because there was this one here that says that there's a bug that I think. Oh.
I'm not sure if that bug is actually true.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I mean, John's asking if it's relevant. I think it's David Corking who's asked about it. And I'll say.
I was asking whether it was relevant, but.
Well, I see like. Oh no, this is a post from. Oh, that's you. Oh right, no, right. You confused there. Yes, entirely possible that it's not. Although it's interesting that it's sort of somewhat related. I mean, I guess you and I. Is there enough of us here to take a quick vote on this? Or
I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like. I mean, yeah, this feature could be that basically anybody who's logged into the site could we could have it so that everyone will see the edit button everywhere, but that unless if you're the admin or the owner of a particular organization, then when you submit your it'll go through, but if you're not, then it'll basically put the edit in a queue awaiting approval.
Right.
And then there needs to be some mechanism for the site admin to approve things in that queue, right?
Yeah. And then that actually needs to put that in the real database or in the right table.
Yeah. I mean, there's kind of like an Access versioned gem that I used in the past.
And there's something. I mean, there could be issue like if you were doing a fully fledged system like that. What if two people propose changes that aren't compatible or something like that?
Up to the admin to accept, one or the other. I mean, at the end of the day, they can. Yeah, I mean, you could say, right, let's write some complex way of merging them, but at the end of the day, if the admin's got both of them visible, then they can accept one and move other ones over, really, I would imagine.
Right.
But it seems to me that it's a relatively complex feature in as much as, it would involve adjusting the existing flows in the system and also creating a new admin screen, or at least a view for the admin to then, it's got like two workflows for two different types of user. So, would you like to have a vote on this one?
Sure.
Say 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Put that in there. But I think it's an interesting. I mean, I hope that the Sunny Binghamton students will not feel, oh, we did this thing, and they're kind of like poo-pooing it. I mean, I think they did some great work in terms of mocking up the prototype. I think what I feel was the problem is that they maybe started
Too late.
No, well, no. I mean,
Or on their own, or
yeah, I mean, they started independently of they sort of took the they kind of took our description of the thing and thought, oh right, we can just sort of get started with that, and they didn't sort of come and, I mean, chat to us
well,
about.
John paired with
Yeah.
them on Sunday or something.
Yeah, but I think that was after they'd done their.
After they had done a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and that was after. But not that that's. I mean, I think that it's for where they are, it's a fantastic thing. It's it's just fantastic. It's lovely to see people, kind of coming in and trying something out. But of course, that's the danger. I think when you're that so many paces removed from the kind of the client, then
Right.
the danger is that you end up making something that doesn't necessarily get used in the form that you expect. But that seems to be that feels to me.
But I mean,
Yeah.
when you start at a company, a lot of times you're not given. When you start at a company, a lot of times you're given refactoring work and things rather than
Sure.
driving features.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to get better associated with the app and everything.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's valuable for them to have just be doing something. But I think that there is. I think everybody wants to do work, right, that other people appreciate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I feel is it seems to be missing from like most of computer science education is like learning about trying to discover what it is that you actually need to build. Do you know what I mean? I think the key reason for creating something like Agile Ventures is to try and inject a bit of that into the curriculum. I mean, Dave and Amanda are doing it by exactly having the projects with the charities at UC Berkeley, but it seems like that's the exception rather than the rule, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Agile Ventures is only a tiny thing in a big universe of people coding.
I mean, a lot of open source is just people writing code that they want to use themselves.
Yeah. No.
Where it's not.
Yeah.
Where there's not like a strict client or whatever. But
No. Absolutely. And that's absolutely.
Someone that you're trying to make happy, basically. You know what I mean?
Although I think that I would argue that a good proportion of people doing open source will, part of why people are doing open source and they're sharing it with it is that they want stuff that other people will use.
Yeah.
And they want to achieve some sort of goal. Even in the absence of a client, there's this question of, I want to solve some kind of problem, but
right.
This thing of working out what the problem is that you actually want to solve, and at least for me, I get like people talk about a coding high. I mean, there's a coding high when you write a bit of code that works. For me, there's been like a problem high when I work out a way to solve a problem by changing the definition or the statement of the problem, and I can say, actually, I don't have to solve it in this way. I can do this other thing, which is fantastically much easier, and still achieve the same result. Or actually, I've discovered that what everybody thought was the problem is actually a side effect of this other underlying problem, and if we go and fix that other one, then that's actually going to get us make everybody happy with far less effort. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
no.
I think there's a lot of when people like with clients or anyone, and they give you like a description of the problem, there's always this rush to think, well, how am I going to actually implement that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can get that kind of tunnel focus
Sure.
Like, this is the exact problem statement, and
Right.
how is that going to work?
Right, and I'm going to solve this like this is an exam question in which the background is irrelevant. It's a question of me, solving this precise task.
Right.
Which is kind of
rather than exploring the problem space, I guess.
Exactly. Oh, I was going to mention I found this. There was this other volunteering site I was going to show. I think I emailed people. Anyway, there we go. Well, I should probably wrap up there. It's good to catch up with you, Michael.
Good to talk to you.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else we need to. We've kind of covered all the things. Looks like there's certainly plenty of bits of work for people if they want to do it. I guess sensibly, what I should do is I should, at the very least,
you should merge.
Merge on the staging would be the sensible thing.
If you merge develop into staging,
yeah, I think I'm not set up to do that. I'm going to go and do it on the other computer. Otherwise, have a very cool Yule, and I'll see you on the other side, I guess.
All right.
All right.
Happy. Have a good holiday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.